So today I've got two professors from the University of Nebraska who are going to tell us a little bit about the proposal that they have into the PCI Foundation. And I know they have some slides to show us too, but why don't you guys start by showing us first what you have planned?
Well, first, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Mark McGuire. I'm an assistant professor at University of Nebraska within the Durham School. I'm very active in PCI. I'm on the Journal Advisory Committee, Insulated Wall Panel Committee, Bridge Committee, and Design Spec Committee. I was PCI Educator of the Year in 2017, and I've received a Jenny Award in 2014. And I'll let George introduce himself.
Hi, my name is George Marcus. I'm a professor at the Durham School of Architecture, Engineering, and Construction at the University of Nebraska. I have been at the university since 2005. I'm working mainly on reinforced and pre-stressed concrete. That's my area of expertise in teaching and in research. I have been involved in the PCI for like now 15 years. In several committees, student education, journal award committee, committee on bridges, and UHPC lately subcommittee. I have been the educator, got the educator award in 2014, participated in several activities related to big beam competition, as well as research awards from the Daniel P. Jenny Fellowship.
So to summarize what Marty asked, our committee, or excuse me, our proposal is designed to reach as many students as possible within our school. So our department is called the Durham School of Architectural Engineering and Construction. We've got architectural engineering, construction engineering, and construction management. So within each of these three programs, we are going to integrate 2 to 4 week modules covering precast specific topics that basically run the gamut of precast through 6 different semesters in the AE program, 5 different semesters in construction engineering, and 6 different semesters in construction management. Over 4 years, we believe this will reach a projected 600 undergraduate and graduate students. That's based on the number of students in the program now. And so it's not just going to be engineering, right? We're going to talk about production, erection, estimating, QC safety, everything we can integrate into the various programs. So there's a combination of precast industry personnel through our partners that we're going to use to deliver as many modules as possible. Obviously, George and I are going to be here to do this, as well as the individual instructors for these classes, but we feel it's really important to get Concrete Industries Course Lab, Enterprise, all of them involved as much as possible. But additionally, George and I will both deliver a construction engineering and architectural engineering course and a separate construction management focused course on precast concrete design as part of these programs. So not only will the students get the modules, but they'll also get this tech elective, one or the other, depending on whether they're an engineering flavor or manager flavor of student. And I'll let George talk about the partnership with industry.
Okay, one of the major benefits we see in this studio is that it's not only focused on grad students, but it involves, as Mark mentioned, undergrad. We never taught students at the undergrad level anything about precast or pre-stressed concrete. That's one benefit. The other benefit, which is more important, is having the heavily involved industry in this process, in this teaching. So we usually, like other institutes, do from time to time some planned visits for a limited number of students. But with this studio, that will broaden the base or the pool of students to include all the undergrad in architecture, construction engineering, and construction management. So we're going to have multiple visits or larger groups. We can also involve them in not only looking at the production, but as well as the construction itself. We have a lot of projects going around in Omaha metropolitan area, and there will be a lot of opportunities for students to go and see erection of whether bridges or buildings with wall panels, with double T's and things like that. We have been also in good communication with people in the industry, whether from core slab structures, concrete industries, enterprise precast. They have always been supportive to the college itself and the school in particular, so they can be a good can have representative as good guest speakers in the classes. So if we look at the benefit for the industry that the program will do to these companies, number one, will introduce precast to a larger group of undergrads. So they will increase the number of people who want to have internship at these companies, and also the graduates that basically can go and work directly after graduation. It will cover all levels: freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. So different level of internship, you can have that, whether they do material testing, they do some production, drafting, design, and all of this. So it will be very useful for them to get that kind of support they want from the school. As I mentioned, we're going to have also the precast involved in the estimating classes, the BIM classes, the safety, the equipment and methods. So here's a table that shows on the side the number of students in each of the three programs and at the different levels. And as Mark mentioned, the total will exceed 600 students. So by 4 years, you get that large number exposed to the industry and will basically serve the industry pretty well. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, I didn't know if Marty had any additional questions.
Hi. Well, I'm kind of excited because I know both of you guys from the student ed committee, and when I talk to that committee, most of the time the engineering professors are very much, stay in our lane and let's talk about teaching that one semester pre-stressed concrete class. And it's really exciting for me to see somebody present something that introduces pre-stressed concrete throughout the curriculum and not just thinking of it in terms of that one, in terms of that one class and that one area of instruction. Can you tell me a little bit about the working relationship with how you put this together with Enterprise and Core Slab and Concrete Industries? Have they helped you put together the curriculum at all?
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked a lot with Mike at PCI, Mike Johnsrud at PCI West, along with I think it was mostly the GMs at Concrete Industries, Core Slab, and Enterprise, and there's a lot of excitement. Just getting precast out there is really important to these three guys, and that's our groups, and we are really excited about that because as George mentioned just a little bit ago, and even Marty mentioned, like usually it's like one class where students get these types of topics, and usually it's very engineering heavy. And so with this, we get to talk about all the different parts of the industry, and it's not just going to be us, it's going to be these guys. They're going to get to talk about all the things that they had to learn to become productive in the industry that they don't get to learn in a typical pre-stressed concrete class, which of course we teach. George teaches it, but just on this slide, we're looking at estimating, BIM, safety, equipment, as well as basically anything we can possibly do from freshman to graduate student. And that's the cool thing about this program.
Yeah, I want to also add to that. in the last 15 years, I always had good relation with these companies. We teach our one class for grad level in pre-stressed concrete, and always they come to that class, but they always like to talk about things other than design. So when I invite Mark Lafferty from Concrete Industries, or Todd Kahl from Coast Lab, or Sam Kakish, they always want to talk about either production or a different kind of building they produce, or how to involve the BIM and drafting and things like that. So they are very excited about teaching students other than the design part. So now this studio will give them that opportunity, and to reach to undergrad students and basically talk about the other things that they see. It's as important as the design. So they will like this so much to have the chance to elaborate in these topics.
Yeah, I think this is great. Is there anything else you guys want the trustees to know about your program, your background, what you're hoping to do with the students or the industry?
So as you can tell, our studio is designed to reach as many students as we possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I think this is, I don't know how unique it is among the PCI studios, but it's definitely unique to our region.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really important that we do that for the industry. Not just because we're going to be teaching future precasters how to precast, right? But because we're going to be getting as much of this out to 600, hopefully, students per year. And these are folks that are going to go out and be familiar with precast, and even if they're not working directly in that precast industry, they're going to be fluent in how precast works. And so it's going to be easier for Course Lab and Concrete Industries to work with this new group of engineers, this cohort of engineers and construction managers. So I think that's really important, especially like George said, that the topics that are not typical of university programs, including our own. And so we've got a really strong relationship right now with these groups. But again, it's been mostly on the grad level. And so we hope to continue to strengthen it throughout the undergrad and produce engineers engineers and managers that PCI can be proud of.
Great. Well, that's everything I wanted to cover. So I appreciate you guys coming out and telling us a little bit more about it. And I'll share this with the trustees, and we'll be back to you soon.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing it with us.